The state of the economy and specific concerns over the rising cost of living dominated President William Ruto's engagement with the media as he reflected on his 15 months in office. The president had a difficult time defending some of his administration's plans, pledges, and the timelines indicated for delivery. Chemutai Goin has more.
To begin, Sam.
15 months into President William Ruto's term in office, astronomical fuel prices was at the center of the drawn-out feisty engagement with journalists at State House, Nairobi. The president attempting to absorb government taxes from pushing oil prices up.
The price of fuel is not determined by the government of Kenya. It is not determined by any company. It is determined by the producers. That is why today, the price of fuel in Kenya is the same price in Uganda, is the same price in Tanzania, because we buy from the same place. I've heard people say the president should reduce the price to 150. How are you going to do that? Unless I take taxpayers' money and go and subsidize, which is removing money from this pocket and putting it in this other pocket.
On the consistently poor performance of the Kenya shilling against the dollar, the president took the fuel prices route, blaming the fall of the shilling on external factors.
The G2G deal has worked. If we hadn't experienced an increase in the Fed, the dollar would be at 120 today. But because they kept on increasing the U.S. exchange rate, our exchange rate, if we hadn't done the G2G transaction, if we were still going to the market to look for $500 million, 60 billion Kenyan shillings every month, and in fact, many banks, by the way, were waiting for the dollar to be at 200. Yeah, they will have to wait for a while.
Then came the contentious government-to-government oil importation arrangement, which the president rigorously defended, despite its apparent failure to contain the decline of the shilling.
And I remember your deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, saying that those people that have dollars in their houses, it is time to sell because you're just about to suffer loss.
Yes.
Yourself, you said that you see it going below 120.
Correct.
$115 even.
Correct.
So if you have all this information, why then promise something that was also bound to the changes in the global economy?
We came to discover later, that, this dollar was being managed artificially. And that is how we realized that $2.6 billion of government money had been used, sold to banks to support an artificial exchange rate that was actually going to go the opposite direction.
The president was also probed on what was seemingly shifting goalposts on timelines as set for economic recovery.
Our economy today is out of debt distress. And that is the truth. For your information, if I didn't step in, let me even say, if I wasn't president, the kind of decisions I have made, very difficult decisions, very painful decisions. Decisions that I know they will cause pain, but it is better we make those decisions now than get Kenya into that distress.
The plan out of the current economic crisis has been at best foggy, with government officials speaking at cross purposes on aspects such as timelines of the economic recovery strategy.
I can tell you, we are even having trouble with salaries. We are clearing salaries with arrears.
Ndung'u was telling them, look, we don't have the kind of money you're talking about. We don't have money to increase this and to increase this and to increase this. That is the correct position. We have, and that is why we are cutting back on many aspects, because this is what is required at this point in time.
Siku Kibaki alichaguliwa, walikuwa wanampigia kelele vile wanapigia William Ruto mwaka ya kwanza. Baadaye kila mtu alisema Kibaki amefanya nini? Inakuanga namna hiyo. The beginning is there are teething problems initially, and it's normal in our process, and we are okay.
Defaulting is not an option. It It will take us a bit of time, and that is why in my remarks I said we are likely to see a difficult 2 to 3 years as a nation before we start seeing reprieve.
What Musalia is saying is for us to be able to get to a place where we can say we are good, you know, that things are moving, there is money in the pocket, we can feed ourselves, we can do everything. It takes time, right?
How long?
And it takes time. Because
How long, Mr. President?
You want me to say 3 months, 5 months, 1 year?
And on the controversial housing levy, the president trained guns on the media for what he said was spreading falsehoods over the constitutionality of the levy.
What caused you to move from a fund which was really contributory to this discriminatory fund that even the court has found to be?
Did Kenyans tell you they wanted to be a levy or a tax?
What Kenyans told me is that they want jobs. Yeah.
On that particular question,
Kenyans
the participation
told me,
was on the housing levy, Mr. President.
I was. But you know, when Kenyans tell you they want jobs, it is you as a leader to figure out where those jobs are going to come from.
And so you presented a housing levy in the finance bill of 2023.
I presented to the people of Kenya housing, and I told them I am going to create jobs using this housing. And they agreed with me. And I have created jobs using housing.
In their judgment delivered at the Milimani Law Courts, the 3-judge bench stated that collection of housing levy only from salaried employees is discriminatory and unconstitutional. The wide-ranging media engagement also saw the president being questioned on corruption, regional and foreign relations, and the bumpy episodes in the country's education system. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV.